All right, we are here with the classic glitch showcase with Yellow Slug, and Nitrome or Emorton is here for commentary as well. So I'll let them take it away.
Alrighty. Hopefully my stream works this time. If it doesn't, we are 20 minutes behind anyways. But I wanted to just get things started right away with setting this up beforehand so we save a little time. This is what happens when you have Olmec on a push block in lava. As you can see, we're here for quite a long time. If you either add an extra minute to your run or so, this is a fun way to do it. He just keeps on going. Don't stay on his head there, that's probably not a good plan. Alright, let's jump into some of the more formal stuff. I'm going to load up the black market real quick, because I was seeing from our Runners Play Classic for the first time stream, there's some fun stuff that I want to show you. First of all, shopkeepers don't get mad if you use the teleporter in the shops. And second of all, you can straight up telefrag shopkeepers and it doesn't give you aggro at all. So, as you can see, you can just delete shopkeepers as you wish. And another fun thing I want to show you right here is that the dice shop man does not really care that much about his ceiling, so you can take the Ankh over here. All of this counts as legal shop tile up there, so if you ever want a really easy way to steal the Ankh, you can just move things around to just be like this. What else can we do? We don't have a pitcher's mitt, so I can't show you gambling cheese. So unfortunately, these are randomly generated seeds, but we have a pot over here. We can show you the beautiful way that aggro works in Classic. So, if I still have an alive shopkeeper. So when I hit a shopkeeper... Oh, here, let me load that again. Let's choose a safer target this time. So when I hit a shopkeeper with a pot or a skull, you can see that all the items around it become free. That happens with any type of attack that you use on a shopkeeper at all. So anything that's not in the frozen region. So Classic has a frozen region around the borders. Everything outside of the screen is permanently frozen, but anything not in the frozen border becomes completely free. So I can take anything that I want here. I can take the Ankh. And moving out of the black market, let's go to Olmec again. Sorry if I'm rushing through these a little bit. I'm trying to catch up on time a little bit. So the first thing I'm going to show you here is Olmec goes into the void. So let's see if we have a nice level layout for this. This is hard to do if you get any gaps. And so we're going to just drag him all the way over here. This is kind of like the classic version of Drain Mech almost. So we're going to drag him over. Yep, he's on his way. He's on his way, so we want him to be flush with the wall over here. And this is pretty simple in practice, but Olmec likes to unalign himself very frequently, so that noise, that tile breaking noise that you heard as he stomped up to the top, that's a sign that it's working. You'll see what's happening in a second here. Similar to Spelunky HD, Olmec has a property that he can break unbreakable tiles. So we can see in a second if we get the next break. See, up top on the wall there, he's breaking out a hole. So the goal is to make the hole big enough to get Olmec out of the level arena, so... Voice cannot hear. Is my stream audio not on? Oh no, I better not be having stream issues again. Oh, it's just Cloyce. Oh, it's just a Cloyce problem. Good. Okay, so we have a sufficient gap there, and that's right there is why we have the Ankh, because I messed up horribly. So what we need next to get this guy actually out of here is a push block, which I'm going to go looking for. Check the ceiling real quick. Tends to spawn a good one up here. Perfect. So we are gonna... Classic doesn't have a meme category page, Cloyce. That's why this isn't a meme cat. So we're gonna take our handy push block, and we're gonna hopefully use it to get him out of the hole we stuck him in, so... Let's dig a path down. How high up can he jump here? So we can stick it under here. I mean, Classic definitely has a lot of meme potential, so I don't know why we haven't yet. I just killed my push block. Alright, this is a little unfortunate. Unfortunately, this is a fake push block. Is this one a real push block? Alright, if one of these is a real push block, we're still okay here. Fortunately, a fair amount of the push blocks in Classic are completely fake, so... we might be a little doomed here. The Manic hitbox works as intended. It's very balanced. Alright. This is our last chance. This pushback better be working. Alright, well, looks like we're not gonna get Olmec out of the arena today. We can go out of the arena ourselves though. We can go actually all the way on the top of the level. Throw bombs up here. If you try to use an item up here, like a scepter or a machete or any like active item, it will straight out crash the game. So let's move on to our next Olmec glitch here. So I'm gonna load Olmec again. So you might notice that Olmec has the very long 10-second cutscene at the start. So we're gonna do what's called cutscene skips. So Classic is the only game where you can manually use the Ankh by using the quick restart in the menu, and if you do that on the Olmec level, it lets you move around in the cutscene. So we can start pre-throwing down some bombs here. You might notice that my camera isn't exactly centered on me here. So what happens is, during the cutscene, the camera is centered on Olmec. So it's a little hard to see where the hell you're going. But, not the nicest bomb spam, but we're gonna get him out of here. If I don't fall in the lava first, that is. There we go. Now you have the difficult task of trying to find the door on your own. I'm not actually going to exit the level because then you'll have to watch the long ending cutscene. Oh, I accidentally pressed it anyways, so I guess we're watching the long ending cutscene anyways. That's my bad. I nudged the up key. We're going to do... that is the fastest way to beat the game, technically, if you discount the amount of time that it takes to find the Ankh. But one last thing I'm going to do here, since we're done with Olmec, is we are going to show off loud Olmec. So this is an audio glitch, and it does make the game very loud, so I'm going to warn you. So first, you need to... Come on. First, you need to die on Olmec by using the quick restart function, but only use the quick restart function with F1 instead of the bomb button. It doesn't work with the bomb button for some reason. And if we reload Olmec again, his music should be painfully loud when we load him up. So quick warning here. The funny thing about this is this goes through the mute key as well. Pressing the mute key still does not make the loud... Oh, it did not work. Alright, let me try it not doing it in the cutscene. Let me try it now. Okay. This one might work. I might have baited you with a loud music prematurely a little here, so... Here we go. Now we have the nice, loud Olmec jam for you to enjoy. Even pressing the mute key only mutes one of the Olmec musics, so you can still hear the other one. I'm going to spare you from this, so I'm going to get out of here. And we are instead going to switch back to Classic Guy. If you want a quick way to switch back to Classic Guy, you actually want to go to the changing room, turn into the damsel, and then Classic Guy was in there all along. And we are going to jump right into some of the custom levels to show off a few glitches. So I'm going to start with Hyperspeed, which is a staple of Spelunky Classic. So as you might notice, I had a little level there to set myself up for a level transition. That's because Hyperspeed has to be set up in a level transition. And the way that Hyperspeed works is if you're on controller and you hold the run button during a level transition, you enter the next level of double speed. Or if you're on keyboard and you time the run button press right after you press the next level button, you enter the next level of double speed. So if I timed it correctly, as you can see, I'm very fast when I jump around. The reason why I'm jumping around is the way that classic airspeed works is if you ever move on the ground at all, that resets your speed, but as long as you're in the air, your speed never resets. So the way to maintain hyperspeed if you're in low percent is you have to jump around and then maintain neutral button presses every time. So you see I lost hyperspeed here, so I'm gonna reset this real quick. Okay, come on. Okay. Now, good ways of maintaining hyperspeed are like water here, because I'm off the ground for a long period of time. As you can see, it's much easier to see how fast I am in the water. Also, vines are pretty useful, or enemy bounces. But the real way to maintain hyperspeed is to have a jetpack or a cape, because you can maintain your airtime for much longer. So we're going to show that off in a second. As you can see, hyperspeed with a jetpack is very fast, and as long as I'm neutral on the ground when I land, I maintain my hyperspeed. If I started walking on the ground, or if I wasn't holding shift on the ground, I'd lose it immediately, so... super useful speedrun tool. It's especially great if you don't have a teleporter or a Matic. Matic kind of skips the need to go horizontally really fast, and teleporter lets you go horizontally really fast, but it's a very useful speedrun tool unless you're Hectique, because he hates it. But there's also a second form of hyperspeed, which is not quite as fast, that we call super speed, because it's a little slower, and it's attained by stunning yourself. So it's a lot less useful for speedruns, because obviously the time lost from stunning yourself is quite long, but the nice thing about this is hyperspeed can only be obtained once per level. This type of speed can be obtained whenever you just want to crash yourself into the ground really hard, so you can obtain it anywhere. It's not super speedrun viable, but it is fun to do. While I'm here, classic doors are completely busted because they completely cancel fall damage, so if I float all the way up and I hold the door button, I am completely safe. This is your only time seeing the Walrus Damsel today, so better take what you can get. And let's start loading up some of the other levels to showcase a few other things. So I have to do this one not in the Editor Plus better editor, because this level doesn't work in Editor Plus for some reason, but as you can see, we have some pots and it floating in lava, and when you break the lava, they're floating here. But what's fun about these guys is they actually maintain zero gravity, so it's like having your own pitcher's mitt. And they bounce fairly well too, so you can just kind of have a good time throwing these around, letting them slide back and forth. Personally, I like to do a little target practice. I like to get set up, go for some trick shots here. I think, ooh, I guess if you flip hang them, they do that. I just learned that one right now. I think HD has a similar thing with a scepter, but yeah, it's caused when they sit in lava, they start sinking slowly, so they lose their normal gravity, and then when you break the lava, they never regain that gravity, so you can have fun hucking these around. What I'm gonna do real quick is I'm going to move into Editor Plus, so I can show some of the Editor Plus levels. So the screen's gonna go black for a quick second here, but it should load up in a second. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of Kaizo potential in Spelunky Classic that you would not expect. So here we are in Editor Plus. And we can show some things in fun stuff in Editor Plus here. First thing I want to go into is score glitches. So if you ever wanted to press 5 inputs every time you swing a Matic, here is Infinite Matic. It's obtained by whipping and then pressing the pickup inputs very quickly. And as you can see, it gives me this glitching Matic sprite. And as you can see, when my Matic would normally break, it gives me a Matic head instead, so your Matic will never ever break as long as you press the inputs. This is one of the only differences between Score No Major Glitches and Score, and there's only one runner who has completed a actual Score run rather than a Score No Majors Glitches run, so shout out to Groomp for the only person who sat through pressing the Infinite Matic inputs every single time for an entire run, because no one else wanted to suffer through that. Also, yeah, shout out to Gorgroust, who makes a lot of classic custom levels. He makes a lot of awesome Kaizos. Another neat thing you can do with Infinite Matic is it's the only way to Matic jump. So if you wanted to add an extra input to the Infinite Matic swing... Come on. Come on. There we go. If you want to add an extra input to the Infinite Matic swing, you can actually Matic jump and add Matic tiles in the air. Next, we're going to go into Infinite Matics rather than Infinite Matic, so there's plenty of ways of Matic cloning. One of them is to use Crush Traps, which is very difficult because they do 10 damage a frame, so I'm going to try to just nudge myself with it, and you can see after just 2 frames it did 20 damage, but now you can see that I have the Matic on the ground over there, but if you look at the HUD, there's also a Matic in my HUD, so if I press the swap key, the game feed's frozen? Oh no, don't tell me my stream's frozen again, come on. Oh no, come on. It's working on my stream side. It's working on my side. Game feed is black.
It's frozen right now.
Is this something on your end, Cloyce? It's... Oh no. Because everything is running fine on my end, like I'm looking at my stream.
Yeah, I think Gare is regenerating the feed, so...
Oh, I see.
Checking.
I hope this is not something on my end. I'd hate to have another event go kaput.
If it's running fine from your end, then it's probably fine.
It's back.
Mm-hmm. Alright, we are back. Not sure quite where we left off, but as you can see, by doing 20 damage to myself on this Crush Trap, I now have a Matic on the ground and a Matic in my HUD. And by using the very useful classic swap key, I can swap out the Matic. And now I have twice the Matics I started with. I can do the same thing again here. Just generate free Matics. It costs 10 HP at a minimum per Matic I generate. So, this is all I've showcased since then, so I don't think we've missed too much. So, for every frame that I touch this Crush Trap, I do lose 10 HP, so it's a little bit of a costly way to generate Matics. So if you want a more efficient way to generate Matics... Oh, Spencer's right, you can generate any held objects with it. You can clone the Scepter as well. But if you want an easier way to clone Matics, you just have to use one of the Alien Force Fields and cycle through the swap key real quick. And as you can see, I'm collecting a nice, healthy collection of Matics over here. That is not banned. What is banned is cloning pots through this method, because that counts as infinite score. So if you... Oh. Come on. There we go. You see, if I try to bring a pot close to it, I get this glitchy sprite of both a rope and a pot. And if I swap back to the pot, it allows me to place 2 pots, actually. So I've cloned my pot. Last thing here in this level is Invisible Matic. If you're swinging a Matic, and you get shot by a dart, your Matic completely disappears. It's not actually gone. It's invisible somewhere. I'm gonna find it eventually. So yeah, you can see it's back in my HUD now, and if I want it to be visible again, I can just swing it again, and it's back to normal. So let's see, let's boot up another level now. Oops. How does Editor Plus work again? Load another level. Here we go. So let's talk about the Frozen Zone briefly. So I talked about it briefly before. In Game Maker games, everything that's like a radius outside the screen is completely frozen. So they don't move, they don't interact with things. There's a few things that break this rule, like Olmec, but there's a few funny interactions with the Frozen Zone you can have. So you can see I have this row of spikes down here. Yeah, the stream in the game is a few seconds delayed. It's an unfortunate consequence. I also just threw myself on those spikes by accident. So if I bomb this row of spikes up here, you could... Oh, here, let me reload this level. I messed this up a little. My apologies. Where is it? Here we go. Let's start this again. So... The problem was I moved my camera, which actually affects this glitch because it affects what's loaded on screen. But if I place a bomb without moving my camera this time, you can see I blow those spikes up there, and it deletes a lot of the spikes down here. And the reason why that happens is that whenever you blow up a tile, the game checks if there's any free-floating spikes, and if there are, it will delete the spikes because it takes it that the tile that the spikes were on were deleted. And so when I'm up here, just the spikes were loaded, but not the tiles that they were on, so they count as free floating. So when I delete those tiles, those spikes get deleted as well. So another thing, we can go to this altar and we can off-screen it sufficiently. And you can see that I only blew up half the altar because the other half of the altar was completely unloaded. And so this is a good way to gain double punishment if you want to, which is pretty useful for score runs. Also, shout out to the ball and chain being very goofy. It kind of works as a custom cape by preventing fall damage by yanking you upwards. Just wanted to show that off while I have a ball and chain. Same thing with this water here. If we kind of off-screen it a little, we come back and we still have some water tiles lingering over here. And if we want to delete these water tiles, we just have to delete a tile that's on screen, because then the game will re-update and check that there's water tiles that are free-floating, and it will delete them properly. So that's a little bit how the Frozen Zone works. Let's move on to another level. What do we have here? This is a perfect personal favorite of mine, about the most deadly weapon in Spelunky Classic. It's not actually the scepter. If you get a dice spinning here and catch it at the right moment, come on. The dice keep spinning in your hands. Oops. Okay, we're resetting that one. The dice keep spinning in your hands, and this counts as a constant projectile. So as you can see on the shopkeeper over here, he does not stand a chance. And so this basically makes you into an unstoppable force. As you can see, these Jiangshi don't really stand a chance. Neither do these Yeti Kings. They're kind of just in the meat grinder. They're along for the ride. Tomb Lord, he's not any better. I mean, what is he going to do against this, you know? Megamouth as well. You can just kind of... Come on. You can just kind of sit inside him and completely grind him to a pulp, so that's one of the more fun glitches in Classic. Completely possible in Vanilla with dice as well, so whenever you have an opportunity to grab a die, make sure to pick this one up. You can also move bodies around. It looks like he's giving the stun animation. I didn't know that was possible, but that's pretty funny. Let's move on to... Let's see. How about... Where's the one that I wanted to show? Hitboxes, here we are. Classic has some wonky hitboxes stuff going on. First of all, walls are not really walls if you use the help of push blocks. This is pretty hard to line up, but we got it first try. That's nice. So we can just clip straight through there, straight through that corner. Down here we have a big spider, but you'd be wrong because this is not actually a big spider. This is a small spider because when a big spider is on the ceiling, it has the exact same hitbox and detection as a small spider. So his entire hitbox is at the top left corner. He does only 1 damage as well in there, so that's pretty funny. Enemies will cheat and hit you through the wall, although I accidentally stomped that guy through the wall, which means that I'm cheating as well, so I guess fair is fair. Damsels have a completely massive grab box, so I can just yoink them through the corner. But the funny thing about damsels is they can actually increase your grab range on other items for some reason. So you can see right now I can't grab this jetpack. But if I throw this damsel back here, and I time it just right, when she wakes up, and I can yoink the jetpack through the wall there, so that's something pretty fun. This is something that I'm not guaranteed to get, because I was hoping for a random gym spawn so I can show you gym head ceiling bonk, but I did not get a random gym spawn, which is unfortunate. But basically the entire premise is if you ram your head into the ceiling really hard, you'll sometimes collect a gym. It's a little tricky to do, so I guess it's probably for the best, but I didn't get a gym spawn. Megamouth is not a very intimidating enemy. He only does 1 damage per bite, and his body hitbox is non-existent. The only thing that does damage is his mouth. So if you sit inside of him here, he does not know how to handle it. He will just swing back and forth repeatedly. So you can just whip him, and he gets hit once per frame of the whip, so all 40 of his HP drains pretty quickly. You can stomp on fish in this game because the top tile of water is not real, so that's kind of funny. And the last thing I want to throw out here is not technically a glitch, but it's kind of annoying. You can see you can destroy cobwebs with the machete, but if you're inside of a cobweb, you can't actually destroy it with the machete because the hitbox is too rounded and goes over it, so... the machete, classic machete, is probably the most useless item in the game, is basically my point. Alright, well, let's see what else we can load up real quick. Does anyone have an idea when I started? Just so that I don't want to spend too much of the time here. Let's go to bomb teleport. So, you might know about the classic feature of being able to use the swap key to swap to your bombs and ropes, and you can ledge dangle them and pick them back up and put them back in your inventory. But the funny thing about sticky bombs is that if you dangle them onto an enemy, they will just land on the enemy safely, and you can even remotely activate them. But the weird thing here is if the enemy dies, the bomb teleports right back into your hands. Not quite sure why that one happens. We're not quite sure why a lot of the things in Classic happens, but it's kind of funny. It's a short little one I wanted to throw in here. So, come on. I keep forgetting to press the C key. What else do we have in here that we've not covered yet? Arrows are weird in Classic. When you pick up a bow, you get your own arrow inventory. It's 6 arrows, which was almost a trivia question until Cloyce said it was too evil, so thank Cloyce for that. If you pick up a second bow, it doubles your arrow count. It just adds the extra 6 arrows to your arrow count. And these arrows are globally stored, so if you pick up a bow, you leave it behind, you go through a level, and then you pick up a new bow in a new level, it's completely filled with your arrows from last time. Not really a glitch, but Classic has the cool feature of being able to stick arrows to walls. I don't know why they took that away from HD. Kind of a glitch is bomb arrows, so when you press the A button while shooting an arrow, it shoots a bomb arrow, which is an intended feature, but what's not an intended feature is it doesn't actually cost a bomb. You could have to have at least 1 bomb in your inventory to do it, but aside from that, it's basically getting 1 bomb per an arrow that you have. They explode on contact with enemies. They also explode on contact with corpses, enemy corpses. They do not explode on contact with damsels. Damsels will actually just eat your arrows straight up, so... kind of a waste of a bomb arrow if you just shoot a damsel with one. But you can see here, yeah, bomb arrows have a secret score tech because you can get an extra bomb per an arrow that you have. You can pick bomb arrows back up as long as they aren't exploded. So they just go right back into your arrow count. I don't know what happened to the bomb that was attached to them. And And holding an arrow gives you some kind of funky properties around dart traps. I was hoping to explore this more, but I was kind of a little crunched for time, so I'm just going to show you not that. That's not how that was supposed to go. 1 second. Apologies. I don't know why this works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. Okay, come on. If this doesn't work this time, we're going to move on, but dart traps, holding an arrow will make it so dart traps sometimes just won't shoot you. Okay, alright. We're cutting that one off, but it will make it so dart traps sometimes just don't shoot you and you can stick to walls randomly, so I'm not sure why that one was not quite working, but it's a little unfortunate. What else do we have here that we have not quite gone over? Oh, this one's fun. This was kind of a miscellaneous one. I will give a disclaimer that this is not possible in vanilla, but I thought it was really funny, so I want you to place your bets, what you think happens if you try to crush a man-trap in this game. And there he goes. It's one of my favorites. Crushing a UFO yields somewhat similar, but not as exciting results. You would expect it to kill you, considering pretty much any interaction with a UFO in this game kills you, but it doesn't, which is kind of nice. Show here that if a crush trap starts sinking and you break the block here, it's not going to break that last tile because the crush trap actually counts as a block maintaining that lava. But if you thought this crush trap was going to stop with the floor, you're completely wrong. He's gonna keep on going. So that's another way to get objects to leave the game completely. You could also do this, and this is naturally spawning in levels too. So you can just break a push block, and then your lava is just kind of broken forever. And similar to what I showed with the water, every time you destroy a normal block, it checks any lava or water that's uncontained, so it will destroy it all and recontain it. This still technically counts as contained because the push block is in the middle here, so it counts as a block containing this lava in here. Alright. I think we're making pretty good time. I think I might have just one more thing to showcase here. Let's see, I think it was this one we have not done yet. So, instead of having like normal detection where an enemy will see a certain number of blocks in front of it, Derek Yu instead makes it so Hawkmen, Cavemen, and Yetis shoot invisible eye bullets in front of them. And these eye bullets have infinite range, even though it's not infinite detection range. But who detects you based on these eye bullets is based on proximity. So as you can see, this Hawkman, who's not aggro, has detected me from over there, and has aggroed both these guys in the pit here because they're closer to me. I did mention that Yetis also have these eye bullets, despite the fact that they don't get aggroed at all, so that's kind of a little wonky. Fish can see through walls. They also hate cavemen. They don't change their focus very much, so pretty easy to just kind of wipe them out. Yeah, Spencer's right. They literally are invisible circles with an eye on them, so eye bullets is completely correct. Here we have a left and right dart trap. If you expected them to have the same range, you'd be completely wrong. This one has a further range. This one is 1 block shorter. Thank you, Derek Yu. If you have a dart trap that's blocked off, its range is permanently shorter, so this one's permanently has a range of 1. Same thing with this one, you know, nothing happening here, but if I go in close, it shoots you. Let's see. Get a bat down here. Jiangshi will not aggro you in the water. If you're in the water, they're completely chill. They just like to hang out. And this bat can do something a little funny. I had him do it for a second there. Let me see if I can get him again. There he goes. If you can't find his roost again, he will kind of just keep on sliding. So there we go. He's just kind of stuck in this corner now till I leave him. I showed you before, but giant spiders are, when they're on the ceiling, they're literally the same as small spiders, so their detection range does not hit you on the right-hand tile. And one last thing to leave you with is that tiki traps actually get aggroed onto crust items, so yeah, that's a very, very interesting feature. And let's see. And I think that might be all I have for you today. I know that was a little fast, but I know we're a little crunched for time, so I wanted to make sure we could get everything out of the way. And yes, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy some of the jankiness that Classic has for us.
Ooh, thank you, Yellow Slug. That was it's been really fun seeing all of the jank across all 3 games today. There's so much fun stuff in these games. It's been really fun seeing all of the jank across all.
And sorry to Nitrum, I asked you to co-cast with me, and then I kind of got in a groove. I was a little nervous about this segment at first, so.
All right, we are going to be moving into bingo in just a minute. So enjoy some more art while we set up the next segment. Should be ready very soon.